Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. CHIDO, the Manchester United under-18 coach Adam Lawrence yelled before offering applause. CHIDO Obi Martin never looked like missing his 26th minute equaliser. Obi Martin nonchalantly jogged back into his own half, eager to restart the game. United ought to have led, but Jack Fletcher and James Scanlon did not connect cleanly with the ball. Obi Martin did. Within 18 minutes, they went from 1-0 down to 3-1 up. Lawrence yelled, "Well done" to Obi Martin as early as the 3rd minute, and there was another in the 28th, then a third in the 54th minute. Those two words sufficed for Sir Alex Ferguson, if ever one of his players had performed. The only time Obi Martin erred was when he failed to round the keeper and momentarily felt sorry for himself. Lawrence soon jolted him. Obi Martin completed his hat-trick in the 65th minute. The team sheet read, CHIDO Obi, a name change possibly foreshadowing Obi Martin's national team allegiance. He was born in Denmark, but is seemingly destined to represent Nigeria. Obi Martin now has 7 goals in 3 FA Youth Cup games. That is as many as Alejandro Garnacho tallied during the triumphant Youth Cup run in 2022 in half as many games. The last time United beat Chelsea in the competition at Leigh Sports Village in 2018, a 17-year-old Mason Greenwood hit a hat-trick. Chelsea had monopolised the Youth Cup back then and were beaten for the first time in 5 years. United's under-18 age group is arguably the best in the country, with Arsenal's deprived of Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. United head to Arsenal in the quarter-finals. It was a travesty that Old Trafford did not host this tie between the Youth Cup's 2 most successful clubs. Cost-cutting measures have been cited, but not confirmed. A minuscule crowd of 738 assembled, and the handful present may wear this match as a badge of honour if Obi Martin makes the step up. The inevitability about Obi Martin homing in on goal is in stark contrast to the 2 number 9s in the United first team squad. Rasmus Højlund has not lived up to his squad number change, and his number might be up this year. He's doing his job, Ruben Amorim said when asked about Obi Martin last week. He's improving, he's playing in the youth teams, and also we have other players who can play that position. Rasmus and Josh are there. We bought these 2 players, we need to improve them, and sometimes the confidence can change a player. We will see in the end of the season, but until then we have 2 strikers who can score goals. They've proved in the past, so let's see if we can improve as a team to help them to score goals. Joshua Zirkzee made good on that with a first goal in 12 games against Leicester City. He can ill afford another similarly lengthy drought. Jason Wilcox and Darren Fletcher were in attendance at Leigh Sports Village. Academy football is technical director Wilcox's wheelhouse from his 5.5-year stint as Manchester City's academy director. Erik Ten Hag tapped into Fletcher's knowledge of United's homegrown prodigies, and the first team coach remains a bridge between the youth team and first team under Amorim. Obi Martin only turned 17 in November, but his pedigree at academy level and high-profile defection from Arsenal in the summer quickly created a buzz. United's goal-scoring struggles at senior level have only fueled the hype. Nothing past, CHIDO. Nothing past, Lawrence commanded as United saw out the first half. Obi Martin towered above Landon Emenalo, the son of the former Chelsea sporting director Michael. Fellow centre-half Olutayo Subaloye attempted to literally get to grips with Obi Martin and was clutching at thin air. He is selfless, as well as selfish. Obi Martin could have turned and shot at goal in the 82nd minute, but cutely laid the ball off for substitute Victor Musa, who curled narrowly wide. Obi Martin was substituted before the game restarted and was embraced by Lawrence. There was applause from teammates, staff and supporters before Obi Martin exchanged high fives in the dugout. Scanlon, involved during United's pre-season tour and already a full international with Gibraltar, recovered from his fluffed finish with 2 finely taken goals to put United ahead. Jadon Sancho, the right-back, was responsible for 2 deft assists in a swashbuckling first half. Obi Martin rushed straight to Sancho after Scanlon's precisely placed header gave United a 2-1 lead. On the opposite flank was Harry Maguire, now more muscular than in pre-season. Amas was bypassed in the first seconds and hit the ball into touch twice before the 4-minute mark. He had a forthright exchange with fellow Londoner Lawrence, and having his manager within earshot had the desired effect as he gradually improved. Obi Martin celebrated his contest-killing second goal by imitating Marcus Rashford's celebration. Rashford's breakthrough came in February 9 years ago, yet he and Greenwood have been consigned to United's past. Obi Martin represents the future. Manchester United are facing a challenging task of signing Sporting CP striker Viktor Gyokeres in the summer transfer window. United have been strongly linked with the Sweden international after Ruben Amorim's appointment. Gyokeres has scored 77 goals in 85 games for Sporting after being signed by Amorim in 2022, forcing himself on Europe's top clubs' transfer radar. After staying put in the January transfer window, a move away from Lisbon is expected in the summer. Sporting have all but accepted losing their talisman, with reports in Portugal suggesting that the player and club have a gentleman's agreement which will allow Gyokeres leave at the end of the season for around £58.6 million to £62.8 million. United remain desperate for reinforcements in attack. Rasmus Højlund's last goal came in the 2-1 Europa win over Victoria Plzen on December 12th, while there remain question marks over Joshua Zirkzee. Gyokeres remains the obvious target for Amorim, but United are not alone. Spanish outlet Sport have reported this week that Barcelona could look to sign the striker in the summer in anticipation to replace Robert Lewandowski. Despite scoring 31 goals in 33 games this season, the Poland striker turns 37 in August, and the La Liga side's hopes of replacing him with Vitor Roque haven't gone to plan. Gyokeres has emerged as an option, and the report adds that Barcelona could favour a move for him. The Spanish giants hold a good relationship with Sporting CP following the sale of Francisco Trincao. It's understood that Barca maintains a 50% stake in any future sale of the winger, and furthermore, Sporting hold an interest in Roque, which could be used as leverage. Alexander Isak is also an option for Barcelona, but Newcastle are expected to persist with their £100 million plus valuation of the number 9. That means that Gyokeres' services will be in high demand in the summer. If United fail to qualify for European football, which remains a real possibility, they may be forced to watch Barcelona swoop in and land the Swedish star. Manchester United defender Lisandro Martinez has hit back at Paul Scholes after the club legend criticised him, saying the ex-midfielder wouldn't survive in Argentina. Martinez has been ruled out for the rest of the season after it was confirmed the 27-year-old had suffered an anterior cruciate injury in his knee following United's 2-0 home defeat to Crystal Palace earlier this month. Before then, Martinez had been a near ever-present for the Red Devils, but has been involved in some dismal team performances that have seen United fall to 13th in the Premier League table. Scholes recently slammed Martinez when discussing United's lack of quality to win titles. He said the former Ajax defender was not at the level the club need to return to the glory days. Speaking on the overlap fan debate via Sky Bet, he said, "Even when Martinez is fit, he's not good enough to win the Premier League with." Martinez was clearly fired up by Scholes' words as he fired back in a post on Instagram, replying, "This Jinx guy is really hurting. You put him in Argentina and he wouldn't survive." Scholes is never afraid to speak his mind about United players, and recently said he would include Martinez in 8 players the club should sell, as well as Marcus Rashford, Matthijs de Ligt, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Casemiro, Antony and Joshua Zirkzee. Martinez, who arrived for £55 million in 2022, is not the only United defender who came under fire from Scholes. The 50-year-old also savaged de Ligt, calling him a concern while also critiquing Lenny Yoro. His de Ligt's age 25, and his amount of clubs already concerns me. He was brilliant at Ajax, he seems to be getting worse as he gets older. Bayern Munich, Juventus, they've let him go for some reason. Where are your ambitions? I'm talking about getting a team to win the Premier League. Are you going to win the Premier League with de Ligt and Yoro as your centre-halves? You fans said you think they're quite good. Is quite good enough? Look, Yoro is a young player, but I haven't liked what I've seen so far. Did you see the Southampton game? He's a young player, he's one centre-half I would keep when I talk about that spine and 2 centre-halves. Manchester United would have to stump up around £50 million if they want to sign Crystal Palace forward Jean-Philippe Mateta, according to reports. The 27-year-old has been in superb form for Oliver Glasner's side, scoring 6 goals in his last 5 Premier League games and turning the heads of Europe's elite in the process. According to The Sun, Lyon are now keeping tabs on the Frenchman in a move that would be controversial, given that the club's owner John Textor is the largest shareholder at Palace. The report says a number of Premier League sides are chasing Mateta, but that any club who wants to sign him will have to pay £50 million at least for a player who is only getting better at Selhurst Park after reaching 42 goals in total since joining in 2021. Last season, Mateta hit 19 goals in all competitions, and United were tipped to sign the striker by Paul Merson amid their struggles up front. United signed Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna this season, but the Dutchman has had trouble adapting to life at Old Trafford with just 5 goals, while Rasmus Højlund has 7 in total. Amorim even tried playing Kobbie Mainoo as a false 9, ironically, in a 2-0 home loss to Palace, where Mateta scored a fantastic brace. Merson told Sky Sports this week, "Man United should get Mateta. That's what they need. He's a strong lad up front, playing at the top of his game. He leads the line, scoring goals now. He runs and works his socks off harder than anyone you know. He's 100 times better than anyone Manut have in the front line. Not Amad Diallo. He's a young kid, but he's much better than Højlund and Zirkzee at the moment." It comes after Spanish outlet Fichajes claimed Barcelona are also interested, seeing the forward as an alternative to first-choice Robert Lewandowski. His contract expires in 2027, and is not the only Palace player being chased ahead of a possible summer move, with defender Mark Guehi being linked with an exit after the club rejected a bid from Tottenham in January.